Seth Meyers' daughter Adelaide didn't just appear on late night, she took over the entire show, turning what was meant to be a sweet Thanksgiving segment into a full-blown viral moment that fans are still replaying, quoting, and obsessing over. From the second she stepped onto the stage beside her brothers Ash and Axel, the audience felt it. That spark, that unpredictable kid energy that can't be scripted, rehearsed, or contained. And what followed was one of the most charmingly chaotic family moments late-night television has seen in years. Seth introduced his kids during the November 27, 2025 holiday episode, a tradition he's slowly been building as viewers adore seeing the softer dad side of the host. But nothing prepared the audience, the internet, or even Seth himself for the pure comedic gold his 4-year-old daughter was about to unleash. Seth has always joked that his kids have big personalities, but nobody could have guessed that little Adelaide, barely tall enough to reach the microphone, would instantly command the room with the confidence of someone who spent decades in show business. The moment she sat in her chair, she was fully in performance mode, though in the most natural, unfiltered, kid-like way imaginable. Seth asked simple, safe questions, clearly expecting sweet answers about Thanksgiving, family traditions, maybe a funny sibling story. Instead, Adelaide launched into bold declarations, wild observations, and spontaneous one-liners that even seasoned comedians couldn't have delivered better. Her first viral moment, when Seth gently asked what the family wore for their holiday-themed photos. Most kids would give a straightforward answer, a turkey costume, a Christmas sweater, something typical. Adelaide proudly announced turkey, but then, without missing a beat, threw in that she dressed as Elphaba, a hilarious mashup of Elf and Elphaba from Wicked. She said it with such confidence that the audience immediately burst into laughter. Seth stared, confused. Even her brother struggled to keep a straight face. Only after a moment did the real meaning come out. She meant Elphaba, the Green Witch, but had blended it with holiday characters in her mind. This tiny mispronunciation became an instant meme online, as fans joked that she was inventing a new cinematic universe where Broadway witches and Christmas elves coexist. And that was only the beginning. When Seth tried to move the conversation along and asked how the family traveled to the studio, she cemented her icon status with a single sentence. "We took the subway. The subway smelled like diarrhea." The audience roared. The crew members behind the cameras cracked up mid-shot. Seth leaned back in his chair, already defeated. His daughter had just dropped a brutally honest New York observation on national television, and people absolutely loved it. Clips circulated within minutes, captioned with lines like, "New York honesty at its finest," and "Seth Meyers' daughter just said what every New Yorker thinks daily." But Adelaide wasn't done collecting viral moments. When Seth tried to bring Ash and Axel into the conversation, the sibling dynamics exploded into full display. Seth asked who the sweetest brother was, and Adelaide immediately hugged Ash. Then, when asked who the rougher sibling was, she pointed straight at Axel and said, "I love this one, but not that one." Poor Axel laughed it off, throwing his arms up while the crowd howled. It was the kind of honest, chaotic little kid answer that you simply cannot script. What made it even better was Axel's unexpected dancing. Out of nowhere, the 7-year-old broke into a random celebratory groove, the kind of routine that only a kid with unlimited energy and zero fear of embarrassment could pull off. The audience erupted again, screaming and clapping as if someone had just won a talent show. Adelaide watched him with this look of pure admiration before declaring, "I want to do that too," and tried to mimic his moves. It turned into a mini sibling dance-off live on television, and it became one of the most replayed moments from the episode. Just when Seth tried, for maybe the 5th time, to regain control and wrap things up, Adelaide leaned into the microphone and shouted, "No, no, no!" The delivery was so naturally comedic that fans online instantly began comparing her to Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, and other comedic greats. It wasn't the whiny no of a toddler, it was the bold, theatrical no of someone who knew they were the star of the moment and didn't want the spotlight to end. After the show aired, the internet exploded with reactions. TikTok users stitched the subway clip with their own New York horror stories. X users declared that Adelaide should host the show next year. Instagram comment sections filled up with praise like, "Her comedic timing is unreal. She understands crowd work better than some adults." And "Seth Meyers' daughter is a star and she knows it." Even celebrities chimed in, calling the segment pure joy and the funniest thing late night has done all month. And then came Seth's post-show cleanup attempt on social media. He shared photos explaining Adelaide's costume confusion, including a picture of her cousin dressed in a red elf costume and the actress who plays Elphaba, which clearly led to the name mashup. He joked that he now needed a glossary just to interpret his daughter's imagination. Fans loved it even more, saying the behind-the-scenes explanation made the moment even sweeter. To understand why this specific appearance resonated so deeply, you have to look at Seth Meyers' persona as a late-night host. Unlike some hosts who rely heavily on celebrity interviews or political commentary, Seth has always thrived on relatability. His closer look segments break down the news with a personal comedic touch, but his family stories, the ones where he talks about parenting, marriage, or chaotic mornings in the Meyers household, have always been fan favorites. He's a comedian who feels like a friend. So seeing him as a dad in real time, navigating the unpredictable energy of 3 young kids, felt authentic in a way late-night television rarely captures anymore. His children, Ash, the thoughtful older one, Axel, the energetic middle child, and Adelaide, the fearless 4-year-old, have grown up in occasional glimpses on the show. Viewers know about the hilarious way Adelaide was born in the lobby of their apartment building. They know Seth's stories about toddler nightmares, school drop-offs, and parenting during unusual times. So watching these kids on stage felt like watching characters you've grown to know over the years finally step into the spotlight themselves. And that spotlight belonged to Adelaide. What made her appearance so iconic wasn't just that she said funny things, it was her natural comedic rhythm, her honesty, her confidence. There's something magical about kids who aren't trying to be funny, but simply are funny because their thoughts are pure and unfiltered, and Adelaide delivered that in every second of her time on camera. Viewers have even started speculating that this appearance will become a tradition, a once-a-year Thanksgiving gift from the Meyers family to the audience. Fans are already hoping that next year she'll return with even more wild observations, more accidental catchphrases, and maybe even a cameo from the family's pets. Some online users joke that Seth should be worried because his job is in danger, or NBC found their new host. Others edited the clips into mock trailers titled The Adelaide Meyers Show, imagining a late-night format hosted entirely by this tiny tornado of personality. In the world of celebrity children appearing on talk shows, it's rare for the moment to transcend simple cuteness and become something genuinely memorable. But what happened on Seth Meyers' Thanksgiving episode wasn't just adorable, it was genuinely entertaining. It was a reminder of why live television feels magical. Even in an age dominated by polished, edited content, there's nothing quite like a child grabbing a microphone, ignoring the script, and saying exactly what they think. And as fans continue to share the clips, comment on every moment, and beg for more, one thing is clear: Seth Meyers may host late night, but on that Thanksgiving episode, his daughter Adelaide was the real headliner. The audience felt it, the internet felt it, and even Seth couldn't deny it. Sometimes the best moments come from the unexpected chaos of family life. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.